Hello, it's Rickster. I haven't done a Minecraft video in a long time, but I really seriously have to do one today because of the new auto crafter and this thing I've been wanting to build forever, and this is a fully automated self-fueling kelp farm. So I'll explain quickly what an auto crafter is, and then I'll explain how the farm works. So the auto crafter is a new block that's coming to Minecraft, and it's a crafting table that you can automate. So you can block slots, and then you see it's got the recipe for a pickaxe. If you press the button, diamond pickaxe comes out, and then using hoppers you can fill it up again. So this is a simple system I've built to automate this. So you've got diamond, 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 sticks, sticks, and they trigger in order, and it fills up the recipe. So if I do it again, see it's got a recipe in it, and it goes diamond, 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 stick, stick, and it's ready. So this is super cool. And you don't even need all this behind it. You could just have full stacks of everything in here and just make 64 pickaxe on demand. But the thing I've always wanted in Minecraft is a fully automatic kelp farm, because kelp is a great fuel source, because you can smelt 20 blocks of it. The problem is that when you take kelp, you cook it, and then you get dried kelp, and then you have to make that into kelp blocks to fuel, and that's a manual step that requires a crafting table. But now I've got an auto smelter, an auto crafter, sorry. That step can be done for us. So what have I got here? Firstly, I've got your basic kelp farm. Now I regret doing this here because what you'll see is I've got a conveyor belt water source going down here that feeds into this hopper. So this kelp farm could actually be anywhere. It could be over there, it could be in a secret basement. As long as you've got this feed line going into this hopper, the actual kelp farm can be anywhere. And I've just built it really close to all this when I was experimenting, and wish I hadn't, to be honest. And I think if I was to do this in a real build, this is just one really small auto kelp farm. I would have 2 pairs, so 4 of these, somewhere, probably in a basement somewhere, feeding into here. So what I've got down here is a smoker, and as you can see the fuel is dried kelp block. So what that'll do is when the kelp farm triggers, the kelp will come down, it'll go through these hoppers and into the top of the smoker. It then gets cooked, and then when it's cooked it comes out the bottom and it goes into the auto crafter. It's actually just called the crafter, but I keep calling it the auto crafter. So yeah, this kelp farm doesn't actually need to be right here. Let me just make it daylight. So what is all this, the rest of this business going on here? So the first thing I need to demonstrate is how the crafter works. It doesn't automatically craft, as you saw the diamond one had the recipe in it. It will only craft if the ingredients are in it and you send it a redstone pulse. But oh, here we go. On cue. It sends out an observer signal, here we go, a comparator signal for each slot that's filled up. So that means it's got 1 slot in, 2 are filled up. So when the 3rd one goes in, a 3rd will be filled up. If I put this piece in, it'll go up to 4, and then 5, and then when it gets to 9, it's going to self-trigger because I've just built it in a circle. So if that gets to 9, if there's enough kelp come out, here we go, 7, 8, and you should see the block come out and go up this chute. Oop, there it goes. So there's the kelp block. So what's happened then is it's come up this little soulstone path, gone into this hopper, which feeds into the back of this chest. And then underneath the chest there's another hopper that feeds back into the smoker. And the reason that the smoker is really close here, if we ignore all the kelp farm part, all this stuff is really close, is so there's only one hopper in between the chest and the smoker. The reason you want to do that is there's 64 in here, and then there's 64 in the smoker. So if you imagine you had a whole line of hoppers, each one would have to have 64 in, unless you did item filters. So at least this way it's feeding back in and you're not losing any. So what I'll do now is I'll just throw a load of kelp in the top. If I just get 64 and then just throw that in. See, that's lit up now. That's all feeding in. And this should start going up. So you can see the redstone's activating. We'll go to that one next. There we go. And then it should come up to here. So this will go from 44 to 45. Wait for it. Any second now.
2 hours later.
Yay, did it! So you need a double chest here because of the layout, because everything's so close together. This hopper behind here is actually feeding into the top of the furnace from below. Not the furnace, it's a smoker. I've used a smoker because it goes faster than a furnace. But what you could do is you could actually place another hopper here onto this side of a double chest. So you can see that hopper there is the one that feeds into the smoker. You could put another hopper there if you had an auto smelter, for example, that you need to feed. You could totally put another hopper in and feed your auto smelter somewhere in your basement, maybe with a filter on it and an auto dropper. And then this not only acts as an overflow, it allows you to get some out to put in whatever furnaces you've got around your base. But because it's a double chest, it can feed back into the kelp farm and also into an auto smelter if you've got one of those. So that's quite handy. I'm really pleased with this circuit design. It's so simple. It just has to count to 9 and then it triggers itself to spit it out. Let's watch that again. Oh, attention. Whee! There it goes. And that's it. Hopefully that made sense. Like I said, the actual kelp farm part doesn't need to be here. It can be miles away. As long as you've got the kelp coming in via bubble columns or conveyors, it does feed back into this, into the smoker. And that's it. Love it. I was so excited about this autocrafter. What things you could do with it. Huh? Diamond pickaxe. Diamond pickaxe. Diamond pickaxe. It's amazing. It truly is going to revolutionise builds and farms and automation in Minecraft. So that was it. That was my first video in a long time. Hopefully it made sense and I didn't ramble too much. Check out my YouTube channel for other videos. I've been doing Mirror's Edge and Last of Us and some other things, but yeah, I'm really excited to get back into Minecraft with this new update coming soon. Coming soon. Ciao.